Hi guys, my name is Noah. Today we are going to be sculpting in ZBrush, and I'm going to be sculpting something a little more abstract than normal, a little goofier than normal, and a little weirder than normal. If you like my art, you can find it on ArtStation and on Instagram, and I'll try to put that stuff in the links down below. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this move brush here, and I'm going to start to just move a general shape of the head. I'm also going to grab the snake hook brush. Just in all honesty, there I'm going to turn on Sculptress Pro to get just the general shape down, and I'm just going to start moving the head around in small base shapes. The snake hook brush I find to be much more useful for more cartoony and more exaggerated stuff, whereas the move brush is more for more accurate shapes and forms. Right now I'm just simply moving the head into a general position in which I can sculpt. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do ahead of time. I didn't get any reference photos for this sculpt, so it's going to be more just a very free-flowing exercise. I'm going to hit the little brush icon on the side there. I just hit D on the number pad. I'm going to pull out my damn standard brush. And I'm going to just start cutting out the general landmarks, trying to figure out where I want my eyes to be, how big I want them to be, how cartoony I want to make them. I'm going to click that button up at the top again. I'm going to hit the clay brush. I'm going to start relying on these two brushes to just get some general shapes down. I'm going to try to move very, very quickly, you guys, because I only really have an hour before I've really pushed it past my bedtime. I overslept earlier in the day. I work a 40-hour job, and I also program video games in my spare time. If it sounds like I'm in a rush, that's why. I've been meaning to do this for a while. My goal is to set up generally quick and fast life sculpts where I break down and explain what I'm doing in a little more detail than this video, but I don't tend to do that right now because we're just trying to get the general shape down. The program I'm using right now is ZBrush, and for those of you who don't know, it's a paid-for software, but if you wanted to use a free software, well, or if you're broke like when I first got into indie game development, art, and stylized stuff, you can get into Blender. Blender is completely free. You don't need those excess tools or items. This is starting to become a much more realistic sculpt than I had intended, and I might still go with that. I wanted to do something more stylized at first because they do better on ArtStation, but to be honest with you, it's telling me right now I still need to work on some anatomy, so that's what I'm going to do now, I think. I'm generally just trying to get the general base shapes down, and I'm playing with them. A lot of people don't take the time to play when they first get started, and I feel like that is probably the biggest mistake you can make, because in the process of playing, you learn a lot of interesting stuff about yourself and about the art piece. You notice that I jump around from brushes a lot and change angles. It's one of the most important things to do when you're sculpting. Right now, I'm just building out the general portion of the lips. I'm now going to hit B for the brushes, and I'm going to hit P for pinch brush, and I'm going to grab our pinch brush. The pinch brush makes creases along the mesh, and I use this to quickly and easily pop out shapes. This isn't a particularly good tutorial, I understand that those of you who are frustrated with that aspect of it, but it's not really designed to be a tutorial, it's designed to be a lit sculpt. I'm just going to do it. Next time I do it, I'm going to be a lot nicer friends, I'm going to be a lot more timely and a lot more consumably, but I just want to put stuff out there. I want to thank everyone who's been following me on Instagram and ArtStation, and I want to make some stuff that are pretty cool, so that's more the basis of this particular sculpt. Now let's get back into that cartoony zone. Oh no, will I have gone too far in the last minutes and rushed? And well, it's okay, because this could be a happy little accident, a simple mistake. Right now I'm just building out the nose, trying to figure out where I want it, stylized wise. I think we can go for much more rounded, much more curved nose with a slight tilt at the top. I think I'm going to grab the pinch brush, and I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to go around here. And then I'm going to go around here, and then I'm going to grab around here, and then I'm just gonna start making some shapes. That's all I'm doing here right now. I'm just experimenting. Yeah. I'm going to grab the damn standard brush now, and I'm just going to start cutting away on the inside of his nose. You'll notice that I'm making very drastic and sharp quick shapes with the damn standard and pinch brush, but if you notice, when I grab this brush, I move in little small circles around the area, and that's so that I can get the general subtlety of the shape. It's also more like sculpting than drawing, but I also have a very similar method to how I do passovers when I do 2D animation. So it just comes from that naturally. If you notice, I can get a lot of depth here and a lot of movement within the shape and a lot of variation by doing it that way, and that really helps. I'm also constantly figuring out where the bones are and redefining them. Like right underneath you, boom, that's the jaw. It's gonna flip in between there. We're gonna have a sharp bended. I think this is gonna end up being a female face. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm going to grab the move brush now, and I'm going to move in the lips, in the cheeks, and get that general structure down. Again, if you're having a hard time following at home, I do apologize. I literally have 1 hour to get this done before I absolutely have to pass out. I did not have an easy day coding today. I did not have an easy day animating today. I keep telling myself I'm going to put these out here, and I keep not doing it. And so today is the day. We're doing it no matter what. I already put up 2 animations from some models I'm working on for my current video game, which is going to be an action RPG style game. I think it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to take place in a pop fantasy. Pop as in pop culture, not as in shitty pop music. So if you like pop music, clearly I'm not a fan. Anyway, the general goal of this piece, I think right now, is just showing that I can get shapes down accurately, try to get a feel for how the camera moves and how it operates. I did it a couple other times before, and I think I just got honestly just too bogged down by trying to make something that well, quite frankly, wasn't really me. I want to be very friendly in these videos, and I want to be very, very quick. I don't want to spend 15 minutes explaining where each and every button and every hotkey goes, because I don't think that's where the real learning is at. And I also think, honestly, you can read those inside the manual pretty darn quickly with a lot of these softwares. And so that's going to be my general basis and the general way I look at it. I gotta lower down my voice a little bit, because I live with other people who also probably should be in bed right now, and clearly are not. Now I'm going to build out the underside of this lip real quick. I'm going to build out this side of the lip. Now the way I look at the lip is it's shaped like a croissant. And the upper lip has this little divot in here. That's kind of where it wraps around in the shape. And the underside of the lip, it doesn't. And the way I look at the underside of the lip is it's more like the cinnamon rolls as they're being like bent out. It's got that kind of like gooey kind of shape. I'm going to hit pinch for the pinch brush. I think I already have the pinch brush up here. But again, guys, I'm moving really, really fast because I got to get this done before bedtime. I got to get to work in the morning. Man, am I going to be freaking tired. I haven't been able to sleep like a normal person. It's affecting me. It's affecting those around me. It's making me grouchy. It's making me complacent. But at the same time, if I don't get my training and my studying in, it's going to be a serious problem because I'm never, ever going to get out of my situation. So right now, just keep training, just keep studying, just keep putting things out there. I hope you guys are at least getting some appreciation of the fact that I'm speaking really, really fast and moving really, really quickly off this page. I really, really want to get more into detail about the general anatomy, the cheekbones, what I'm doing, why I keep moving around, how I keep changing the camera angle, and all of that stuff will come with time, possibly in the next video tomorrow, if I can get to the video tomorrow. Tomorrow I also have plans to do some 2D illustrations in Krita, which is a free illustration program. Yes, that's right, free. It works pretty similar to Photoshop or Illustrator, so you can follow along at home by downloading it. I'm hoping to get some more of those down. I do a lot of weird stuff for those of you who decide to go into my art station. There's some pretty cool stuff on there. There's some pretty weird stuff on there. It might not all be for you, but the main key thing is that I post every day on there and on Instagram, and you can get some pretty cool stuff visually from me because of those two aspects that you can't get from other artists. I'm putting in the eyeball right now, and I'm pushing forward a bit. I'm trying to get it into location just perfectly here. Now, I'm going to move that brow out a little bit more because I think it needs to have it protrude more for the more cartoony look we're going for. I actually think most of the forehead does. Oops, forgot to change subtools. The subtools are up here. When I hit that insert brush, it's a different object. I can separate items this way. I can also use a group called polygroups in this program. It's a pretty cool way of doing it, but you can think of it kind of like a layer. So for each layer is its own three-dimensional object that I can just move around in space. Right now I'm flattening out and moving the forehead. Again, if you want to do something like this and you have no money, no resources, no time, I literally learned Blender when I was sleeping inside a car actually in Los Angeles. So again, you can do it. It is feasible. You can't necessarily learn ZBrush, but you can learn Blender. Learned it in and out of a car and in and out of a DV shelter. I did have to borrow a computer, but it's all feasible. Anyone can learn it, and that's what's kind of cool. Like, you know, we have so many opportunities to us that very few of us actually look up to use. I think it's because we look at how hard the world is and how harsh it can be. Sometimes we forget to look up and just see, you know, how beautiful everything can be. I'm sorry for any of those of you who are waiting to see me record myself on a art station who want to know like a little bit more about me, see me, but this isn't that kind of video right now. We'll probably never gonna get that kind of video at this rate. What time are we at? Honestly, I've gotten these done before within 2 to 3 hours, and I'm hoping to do it again today. Sometimes at 15 to 20 minutes. I have to do these really fast when I'm first talking to you guys because I gotta get in the zone. I really wish I just had more time to flesh these out. The last couple of days, the other issue's been that I've been a little too rushed, but I'm putting this up no matter what. It's gonna look terrible. You guys are gonna hate it. You guys aren't gonna ever like my YouTube channel. You're gonna refuse to subscribe. It's gonna go terrible, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it because if I don't make some movement somewhere, you never know what can occur and what can happen. So yeah, getting in this nose real quick in this general nose shape. I'm gonna hit the damn standard brush, move around here. Oh, beautiful. Anyway, let's get the face and the ears down now. Okay, so before I go on to do the ears, I want to make this very clear. You do not want to learn how to do ears for me. I am terrible at them. Just god awful. This is not like some like fake thing where I'm going to show you and you're going to be like, oh, that's amazing. No, this is going to be like, wow, you really are bad with ears, man. You aren't kidding. But this is the way I do them so far. I used to use a separate object. I don't do that anymore. Mostly because it's too time consuming and it doesn't really do me any benefits because ears are great tools for figuring out proportionality on the face, and if you get the proportionality of them wrong, you get everything wrong. So, first things first, I slide that all the way up. I hit Control on the keyboard to mask out where the ear hole area is, and then I move over here and I tap and I move it along, and then I come here to the move button or I hit W, and then I grab this little red icon and I go boom. Again, the next video will not be this fast, hopefully, because, like, let's be real, nobody wants anything this fast. This is, like, too much, too quickly, especially for a beginner. And also, I do apologize to you guys if not, but if you like the energy of this video, you might want to subscribe. Maybe that's part of it, the positivity, the endless movement, the fact that it's off the cuff, unrecorded, and me just being honest with my sculpt might be somewhat helpful. We're getting towards the ugly phase of the sculpt. In the ZBrush, there were 3 buttons, and I haven't been in Blender since they've re-updated, but I can heal. Basically, this is just changing the surface area and the intensity of it, and then when it's thinner, I'm getting a much tighter area, and then this is how much actual area it's overall influencing, and then this is the intensity. I'm going to move down the intensity just a bit here. I'm going to get this here. This is actually, weirdly enough, becoming the closest thing to a decent ear shape that I've gotten in a while off the bat. It's really just off from being slightly quick and experimental and making a couple mistakes in the process of doing this, and then slowly trying to fix them out. And that's kind of the beauty of sculpting. You learn by messing up, you know. It's kind of like cooking, you know. If you mess up and you cook something, well, you at least can eat it, you know. At least most people can eat it. When I cook it, in general, and when it becomes a no one can eat it, it usually really means somebody else can call poison control. Anyway, I get the damn standard brush around the edge here or the U. Yeah, I'm not really liking how I'm doing that, but that's how I'm doing it for now. I've seen other people do it and they get a much, much better result, but hey, I'm still learning. I'm learning every day. I'm moving every day. I got tiger blood, and ADHD. If I really wanted to, the doctors have tried to push methamphetamine on me for most of my life, so what now? Anyway, we're gonna push this ear back up and into the skull and up a little bit more. We'll bring it down there. I'll bring the earpiece down here. Man, I am. And down. Yeah, that's why I have ADD, not ADHD. I'm not bouncing right now. I'm actually very calm in my movements despite the voice changing. Hopefully this doesn't bother anyone too much. This is getting to be kind of weird. Although I think nowadays they're back to making ADD and ADHD the same thing. They keep going back and forth. It's political BS, if you ask me. Like, that's my general take on it. Like, it's more a tool for them to say so and so doesn't get help and so does get help, from what I've been told, and I have reason to believe that which is fucked up. Well, at least in America, that's the case. It has to do with the school system. I'm actually a savant, so that I have a above average IQ, and a disability, so they want to not give me help for a lot of my schooling. And when they did, I went back to succeeding, but I don't necessarily, I don't know, the whole system's fucked up, and I don't really even think the way they handled it was particularly well. And I don't have a particularly good solution for it either. Anyway, I'm going to get this little portion of the lip done. This might seem like a random rant. One of my co-workers is subscribed to me on YouTube, so hopefully he's not bothered too much by the amount of information I'm dumping down here. If he is, that's what happens. Anyway, if anyone here from Instagram or iStation wants to see something, or anyone who follows me on both ones and wants to DM me and see something, I will take it very seriously. Anything at all you want me to do differently for like 1 to 2 hours a day, each and every week, I can take requests. I can move into just doing what you guys need me to do, whatever that is for these few hours a day. It can turn into pretty much anything you want with this YouTube channel. Anything we want. Okay, anything that we want and I decide is a good idea. It makes sense. I originally wanted to do a tutorial on how I made that collapsible combo, but then I realized there was a lot of features in Blender. Just 'cause I'm not touching it, I need to touch back up on before finishing it. So unfortunately, you guys that's not a sneak peek of any up and coming tutorial I put up. That was just so that I could put the video format on ArtStation. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to do those. I think I can actually set them up to be private on the YouTube channel and release them publicly on ArtStation via URL. But I didn't want to play around with that too much. I didn't want to make today about learning how YouTube works. I spent one day learning how Instagram works. The first 3 days of getting Instagram, guys, I didn't know you had to hashtag things. Yeah, I'm pretty bad with social media, so, keep that in mind for that. How much more time do I got on the clock? I can put a little more time in this. It's fine. It's not like I need sleep. I am the champion of the world. Now, this is a terrible idea, but I'm going to keep going just because I want to get the cruncula in, and I want to get some of the facial features figured out. And I'm not uber happy with this character yet. Let's sculpt out the cruncula here. And let's build it in. The cruncula is this little red groove thing in the U. If you've seen the red groove thing, well, now you know that's called the cruncula. It's very annoying to sculpt. Yeah, that's basically the best way to describe it. It's very, very annoying to sculpt. It'd be kind of interesting if I could get the pinch brush up here. Maybe get some weird shape on the eyebrow, something eccentric enough to draw attention to itself and draw attention away to where I just messed up on the eyes. That right there is tessellation being occurred due to the subsurface not subsurface, due to the sculpture's probing at it. It basically adds geometry underneath you guys and re-adds it. For those of you who have no idea how CGI works, essentially you have these geometry, this geometry underneath it lines up and makes all the shapes and tells the computer what direction to push out light. Except for the ZBrush doesn't really have those, it's just pretending to have those, because it does quintillion operations. I don't want to get too like math naughty on it for one of two reasons. Reason number one being is that quintillion math is long and boring, and reason number two being I'm not good enough at it to be able to actually understand it. I just know enough to know what proper words to use to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. And I don't make it that obvious that I'm talking out my ass when it comes to the quintillions, because I read something on a manual here or there about them a while back. Anyway, let's go grab this pinch brush here. Let's move this around here. Get those lips a little more juicy, a little more shape-like. I hope you guys are enjoying this. This might be the weirdest thing I've ever done. It makes you feel any bit better if any of you aren't really fans of it. Don't really like what I'm doing here. It's okay. Just so we're clear, my stuff on ArtStation looks way better than this right now. We are in the ugly phase, okay? And I'm not sure if we're going to get out of the ugly phase, because I do need to sleep. But I don't want to sleep. I want to sculpt. I want to draw. I already slept for so long as it is, but I know I'm going to be tired as hell tomorrow. I'm just like beat down like a dog. Why I just completely and utterly annihilated. I don't know, that's kind of stylized in a weird and interesting way, but it's not particularly good. I shouldn't have gone with something abstract. I should have just went with, we're going to do a study of a face. Here's some faces I've saved up. Who wants to name the celebrity that I can't get the likeness of right just yet? 3D is very hard to get the likeness in. Way more than 2D, because it's a lot harder to figure out what to exaggerate and what not to exaggerate. The rule of exaggeration, I've always thought of it as more like do what if you're gonna exaggerate something with purpose. And like all I've been doing is playing with shapes, so I'm not really doing anything with purpose. I do like how large and wide these cheeks are, and the general movement is, and I like how thin the jawline is. So I'm thinking maybe we'll make them kind of goofy. I want this nose to be a little more pointy. I want this. I don't know. You guys feel this has some character coming to it? I feel like it has potential, but it's just not there yet. What do I do? This is the hard part of the sculpt, guys. I've gotten here way too quickly. I would have came here a little bit slower. You guys would have realized how enjoyable the process is. How your mind can kind of like slowly wave in and out of existence. By the way, I'm not even editing this. I'm not even going to look over it. I'm not even going to tell if the audio works, just so we're very, very clear. I'm just going to sculpt and post it. So this is probably going to end freaking horrible. But I keep overthinking these. I don't want to overthink them anymore. I want to just get some stuff done. You know, do some damage. We're definitely going to sculpt on some hair on this guy, just so we're clear. I'm going to do sculpted on hair, because it's like, if I do regular hair, it's not going to work out too well. You know, now that I've added the neck, some things are starting to make some sense to me. You know what, this eyelid, yeah, it's not detailed enough to be like a normal size eyelid, but I think if I bring this out a bit more, I should probably do that instead of talking about doing that. I got ideas now. They're generating in the back portion of my brain. Probably stating that the doctors will give me Adderall, referring to it as methamphetamine. Probably wasn't the most smartest part of the first part of this video, but that's what Adderall is. For those of you who don't know, it's fucking meth. It's fucking horrible for you. Don't do meth, kids. it's even when the doctor tells you to. Well, actually, if the doctor tells you to and you need to. I have very mixed feelings on the medication. I went with the diet and the cognitive behavioral changes, but I have friends who do need the Adderall. I also have friends that went far south because of the Adderall, so I don't really know what the right solution there is. Anyway, we're gonna get this neck and this general structure right. But we're going with a much more exaggerated form and structural. Anyway, let's get this general face set up and design done. And we'll move from there. Yeah. Anyway, get the. Alright. Anyway, this is a terrible idea. Okay, this is getting kind of cool. Like, it's kind of starting to get some personality to it. Like, that's what I really needed. I needed some form of personality to it because it just didn't have any before. Oh, there we go. Now we're working with file. I'm just doing little quick taps here, getting general small movements down with the move brush. I want to make that very, very clear. I'm not doing too big of actions. It's very easy with the move brush. Just do very big actions. I'm going to grab this pinch brush again. I'm going to get this underside of this jaw to be more crease-like. Oh, man. Man, this is actually turned out pretty cool. Alright, let's get these cheekbones in just a little too much. I exaggerate them way too much, and let's fix these ears. These ears are just way too far out there. Like, I think if I get them to, like, just kind of, like, calm the hell down, like, not take up the entire piece, we might have something here. I brought down the cheeks too much. There was something cool going on with the cheeks, and I kind of ruined it. There. Let's bring them out. Oh, man. You know, it'd be really, really cool if we can get these outer ears come out more, maybe if we make them more pointy. Yeah, there we go. A little more pointy. Ooh, okay, yeah, no. We're gonna just work in the shape. Just work in the shape, guys. That's all we can do. We can work the shape and we can pray it works out well. I'm not particularly happy with it, but I'm not particularly ashamed of it either. I don't know. Alright, you guys ready for some hair? Let's get the hair did. Let's get these cheekbones out just to come out a little bit more, just so it has some roundness to the face. Yeah, like that. Right. Pointing over ears. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Alright, let's insert cube for some hair. Here, I'm running low one time. Here, guys. I don't know. The problem was I told myself I'm going to sculpt something every day. And I'm going to make something every day. And I'm going to put it up on like ArtStation and like Instagram. And for a while there I was doing like 2 a day on there. And I told myself like, hey, if I record it on YouTube, like that's another like really like easy thing to do. So then I could have like 2 things in a video done like, once or twice a day with the same amount of effort. But I realized then like thinking about the recordings, like it changes you a bit. We're going with yes, we're gonna go with a phallic hairstyle. That's what people want. Phallic hairstyle. Yes. God, these people are so dumb. Dumb. Alright, let's get this thing here. Not you guys. I had a really dark thought. This is what happens when you get sleepy. You start talking to yourself. You start sculpting. Like, for the other day, I should just put on a baseball cap on this character. That would have probably been the cooler way of handling it. So he's got hair like this. I mean, I could still add a baseball cap if I really wanted to. Give him like the little mullet and the baseball cap. That'd be kind of like a cool way of handling it off. But we're not doing that today, guys. This is as far as we go, and like I'm really tired. Oh man, I'm so fucking tired. But I wanted to get something done today, and I wanted to put something out there for you guys. And maybe this is what you guys want. Maybe it is. Maybe somebody somewhere out there will look at this and go, "Yeah, I want more of that. Please, more of that." You know, I think here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save this character because I do think there's something going on here, something neat about the shape language. I just have no idea what I'm gonna do with it. So I'm gonna actually come here and let quick save, and then next time I work on him, I'm just gonna start back up and we're gonna talk to you guys. And I'm gonna do a render on him and I'm gonna upload him on to ArtStation, but I'm gonna put him down as work in progress. And then tomorrow I'll touch him up again, and then maybe in 2 days I'll either have renders of him going up to that point and leave them up there, or I'll like delete them, and then that way this can be like an everyday release. But it's an everyday release that leads to something of much higher quality on ArtStation and Instagram, and then that way you can kind of like see the levels going. Not so much Instagram. I haven't put too much CGI on Instagram because it's like you gotta sit there and you gotta take a picture with your phone because like the app doesn't structure right, and then like right now there's like a giant glare behind me as I'm doing it, as I'm talking to you guys, and well, yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. So anyway, if you guys like this, if you want any more, let me know. And if you don't, well, then I just wasted your time. And thank you for letting me waste your time. Yeah, I'm gonna quick save one last time. Hit minimize. I'm gonna go to OBS, and I'm gonna hit stop record.